Hey guys, it's Nikki. Welcome back to another song review. Today I'm going to be listening to Riders on the Storm by The Doors. It was the winner of last week's poll by just a little bit, with Deep Purple right behind it with Child in Time. So I'm going to record a video for that one too this week. And YouTube allowing, it will be up this week. Um, I know technically it wasn't the winner, but when it's that close, I have to check it out. And I want to check out the Rolling Stones too. And Iron Butterfly, even though it was behind. So many songs, so many songs to listen to, but today we're going to check out Riders on the Storm. So let's pop our headphones on, turn it up, and here we go.
Riders on the storm, riders on the storm. Into this house we're born, into this world we're thrown. Like a dog without a bone, an actor out alone. Riders on the storm. There's a killer on the road. His brain is squirming like a toad. Take a long holiday. Let your children play. If you give this man a ride, sweet family will die. Killer on the road.
Gosh,
Yeah.
these lyrics. Video is weird. Very trippy.
Girl, you gotta love your man. Girl, you gotta love your man. Take him by the hand. Make him understand. The world on you depends. Our life will never end. Gotta love your man.
I feel like a whisper for that line there. Marnie's beanery. Little jam with the keyboard.
Riders on the storm. Riders on the storm. Into this house we're born. Into this world we're thrown. Like a dog without a bone, an actor out alone. Riders on the storm. Riders on
I would say the storm is just life,
Riders on the storm.
the storm of life. such a quick song though. This is one that a lot of you guys told me to check out, so I feel like this is a big song of theirs, and I liked it. Like I said, I think the lyrics are basically just about the storm of life. I mean, into this world we're born. Let me bring up the lyrics actually before I go too far. Into this house we're born, into this world we're thrown like a dog without a bone, an actor out on loan, riders on the storm. So, yeah, I think it's just we're thrown into this world and we have to learn as we go. But then the part that isn't about just life in general, there's a killer on the road. His brain is squirming like a toad. Take a long holiday, let your children play. If you give this man a ride, a sweet memory will die. Killer on the road. I feel like that's very specific. I don't think all of us encounter that part of life. So I'm going to scooch over and see what I can find about this song. But as a whole, I like it. Like I said, there's a little keyboard jam in there, which I can't remember what Doors song I did. I don't think it was LA Woman. I think it was, oh, what is that called? Light My Fire. That one I think had a lot. Yeah, because my thumbnail is I'm sorry and keys. That one, I mean, you guys know it's not a secret when when it's like a long like keyboard or piano solo, I typically lose interest. It's just how my mind works. I'm working on it. I keep listening. Maybe one day I'll get there and really, to appreciate it. But this, I mean, this one, it wasn't too much of that. I actually liked it. I mean, just the melody and also kind of the mystique of the song and just a little bit of darkness. I think it helped paint that picture. So no complaints. I like this one. This was good. Okay, so here on Genius.com, this is kind of crazy. It says this was the last song Jim Morrison recorded. He went to France and died a few weeks later. The single was released in June 1971, shortly before Morrison's death. I didn't know that. Does that play a part in probably why people like just love this song so much? Like I said, I'm pretty sure this was a big one, and I feel like that maybe could play into why. I don't know. You let me know. It says this evolved out of a jam session when the band was messing around with Ghost Riders in the Sky, a cowboy song by Stan Jones. It was Jim Morrison's idea to alter the title to Riders on the Storm. Ray Manzarek used the electric piano to create the effect of rain. If you listen closely, you can hear Jim Morrison whispering the lyrics over his own singing, which causes a kind of creepy effect. Yes, I noticed that. This was Morrison's final contribution as a rock star. Ray Manzarek, let my brain take a minute to sound that out, told Uncut Magazine September 2011. There's a whisper voice on Riders of the Storm if you listen closely. A whispered overdub that Jim adds beneath his vocal. That's the last thing he ever did. Whoa, it's kind of creepy, kind of interesting, but yeah. I feel like, I mean, I have headphones on and they're good headphones. I can usually hear little sounds and little things that sometimes I don't hear otherwise. So let me know if you can hear it. Just if you're listening to it on like, I want to say a CD player. Does that show how like old school I am? But just, on your phone or anything else, would you hear it? Or do you really have to like pay close attention like this? I'll find out next time I listen to it. But yeah, that's interesting. That's the last thing he ever did for the Doors. Oh, it says the single was shortened for radio play. Some of the piano solo was cut out. And actually, when I was sitting there listening to it, I was like, I wonder if it's one of those songs, because for Light My Fire, you guys told me that there is a radio edit, which I like that a lot better. And when I listened to it, I'm like, okay, there's some keyboard, there's some piano going on, but it's not too much. But in the back of my mind, I swear, I didn't say it, but I was like, I wonder if there's a longer version of this. Now I know. But then this gets into the verse that I was talking about that's a little uncommon for the storm of life. It says, this is on AmericanSongwriter.com. It says that the lyrics were loosely based on the spree killer Billy Cook, who committed several murders, including that of a 5-person family in 1951. Morrison used the story as a jumping off point for the lyrics to Riders on the Storm. Okay, the keyboardist, Ray Manzarek, said, in essence, Riders of the Storm was a very filmic song about a serial killer. Jim was way ahead of his time in 1970, but he was pulled in two directions writing it. He didn't want the song to be just about a killer hitchhiker. The last verse, "The world on you depends, our life will never end, you gotta love your man," it becomes a very spiritual song. And it says, despite the song being a success for the Doors, it peaked at number 14 on the Billboard Hot 100 chart. The band's producer, Paul A. Rothchild, had a strong reservation about the track, so much so that he refused to help the group flesh it out. He thought Riders on the Storm sounded like cocktail jazz, but he didn't really listen to the darker underbelly of the song, only the lighter lounge feel. It does have, that was the drummer that said that, but it does kind of have a lighter feel to it, but it also feels eerie in that sense. Like, I don't think it's too jazzy or anything like that. I mean, hints of it, sure, but paired with the lyrics, it's just a different feel, at least to me. Meanwhile, guitarist Robbie Krieger chalks up the jazzy feel of the song to bass player Jerry Sheff's unusual playing. When we recorded it, Jerry Sheff just played what Ray was playing on the keyboard with his left hand, and that's why it's so distinctive. It's not something a bass player would come up with. It has more of a jazzy melody to it. Okay, so I kind of want to look into what was it? Billy Cook. Oh, apparently it's a baseball player too. Not the Billy Cook I'm looking for. Okay, this is on life.com. It says William Cockeyed Cook, though little remembered today, was a sensation in his time. He killed 6 people, including an entire family of 5, during a terrifying 3-week spree across several American states in early January 1951. His mother died when he was 5 years old. His father abandoned him and his 7 siblings in an old mine. He became a ward of the state before his 10th birthday, had a nasty temper, and eventually ended up in a Missouri State Penitentiary. When he was released from prison in 1950, the 21-year-old told his father, with whom he briefly reunited with after more than a decade of estrangement, that his ambition was to now live by the gun and roam. He headed west from Missouri, drifting to California, and then eastward again, down into Texas. There, in late December 1950, his crime and killing spree began. He kidnapped an auto mechanic who picked him up from hitchhiking and forced the man into the trunk of the car. The man escaped shortly afterward. The family of an Illinois farmer named Carl Mosser, en route to New Mexico, wouldn't be so lucky. The Mosser, Carl 33, Thelma 29, Ronald 7, Gary 5, and Pamela Sue 3 picked up Cook, who was once again hitchhiking. Cook pulled out the .32 caliber snub-nosed pistol he had bought in El Paso and told Carl to drive. Over the next 3 days, Cook and the Mossers wove their way back toward Cook's hometown of Joplin, Missouri. On the 3rd day, Cook shot them all, including the family dog, and dumped the bodies down a well not far from Joplin. Then it says he killed once more during his spree, shooting to death a salesman from Seattle named Robert Dewey and dumping his body in a ditch. Cook then kidnapped 2 hunters and forced them to drive him across the border into Mexico, where a local police chief recognized him and arrested him, basically. Then he was handed over to the FBI. He was sentenced to 300 years in prison. Sheesh. He was executed in the famous prison's gas chamber, San Quentin. I've heard about that only because of people like artists performing there and stuff like that. That's kind of interesting that it was there, because I was reading something about that prison lately. I forget what band, but that's insane. So it's interesting though that little verse was thrown in because of all this into the other song. Like, I don't know. I mean, why not, I guess, but that's a lot. That's a lot to just like kind of casually throw into the song without making the whole song about it. You know what I mean? So I hope that was interesting to you guys. I hope you learned a little. Let me know if you already knew this or not. I don't know who sticks till the end. I know some people just like to see like the song reaction and not really learn anything else, but I like to dig. I like to dig deep. And I know we got kind of pretty far away from the song with all this, but it was related. So I found it interesting. But I will end this one here for now. I rambled long enough. Let me know what you guys thought of this song, what else I should check out next by the Doors. And yeah, like I said, stay tuned for the other songs in the poll. They will be coming soon. I appreciate you guys voting in it. I love when it's close like that. It's so fun. I love the whole poll idea. I just think it's just cool to get your guys' input. I mean, everything is, but just the one poll, I look forward to checking it like throughout the week and seeing how it's doing. So let me know what I should stick in there next. All right. I don't remember if I said this already or not, but thank you guys for watching along with me if I haven't. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.